literally anything, including a boyfriend, on a rota basis. James is here now, along with sisters Sam and Danny. Hi there, guys. Thank you for coming in. And just mentioned there about the rota system, but before we move on to that, can we kind of go back a little bit, because you were dating Sam, you were dating James for quite some time, 9 months we just said there, until you found out, before you found out that your sister Danny was on the scene as well. So how did that come about, that you actually found out? Because you're sisters. Surely you'd have...
You mean how did we actually find out that he was...
Yeah.
Well, he'd booked a table one night for the two of us and cancelled. So I said to my friend, you know, do you want to come? Turned up and them two was there.
So you are a landscape gardener.
Yeah.
So what you've said is to actually, as it turns out, to both of you, that he works unusual hours, you know, maybe home late, some things he's got to cancel. And so you, as far as you were concerned, Sam, you were in a relationship that was purely him.
Yeah.
And you trusted him as well.
And what sort of guy is he? Tell me about him.
He's... I don't know.
Well, that's
good.
That's hardly the basis of a relationship.
How did you meet each other in the first place?
In a club, he passed me the number. I texted it the next day. We ended up meeting a few days after.
So you then, as you were saying then, booked the table, and he said he couldn't make it. So you, with the mate, said, well, if he can't make it, then I'll go anyway. So you went with your mate. You arrived and you heard him laugh, and then you went up to confront him because you could tell that he was with somebody. And then when you got to the table, he was actually sitting with your sister.
Now, you and your sister hadn't spoken for a while, is that correct? Yeah, for how long?
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years, so literally not in contact at all?
No.
So you didn't know either one was in a relationship, you didn't know what was going on. And so then, Danny, how long had you been seeing James for?
At that time, well, it's been like 12 months now.
So were you in kind of, it was a newer relationship than it had been with Sam and James?
No, it had been me longer.
You'd been there longer.
Yeah.
So you, again, just trusted James when he went to work and he was working late.
Yeah.
Right, now, so instantly, I'm not being funny, but my initial reaction would be, you cheater, what are you doing? You're two-timing us. And my initial thought would be that you'd both...
Well, that's what it was. We was like, what are you playing at? And we left together. Me and Sam, after not talking, and we went on and we talked about things, and we found out then what he'd been doing. He took us to certain places, he did the same things with us. He told us the same reasons why you couldn't come to us and things like that. And then we never spoke for like a few days, and it was like texting, ringing, trying to come round, and then we eventually let him come round.
So, James, what the hell were you thinking?
I don't know, to be honest. In my defence, for the first 3 months that I were seeing Danny, it weren't really serious. You know, that's no excuse, but then when I seen Sam out and passed him my number, I didn't know they were sisters.
You knew they were sisters?
No.
So it's a complete coincidence.
At what point did you know they were sisters?
They talked about, at what point, when she went through some photos and said that, well, this is my sister, because they never really spoke. I know, she's mentioned little bits, but, and showed me a photo, and...
Well, this is an incredible coincidence. So, so you're going out with one sister, and you're two-timing because you're going out with the other, and then you look through some pictures and then realise that in actual fact, my God, I'm going out with sisters.
Yeah.
Now, was there any point there where you thought, this is something I'm not going to get away with, eventually I'm going to get caught here?
Obviously, yeah. You know,
but you continued.
I did, yeah.
And so then after this point where the girls had decided not to speak to you, it'd been a few days, and you asked to come round. And from my understanding, you came around and proposed that you carry on seeing them both, because that would be fine by you, obviously. But at what point did you think, yes, let's do that?
I didn't at first. I think Danielle was more into the idea than me. You know, obviously you just think, oh.
But I had nothing, you know, I would not say nothing to lose, but I had to, try something, didn't I, really? And I do love them both, and I couldn't choose.
So you don't have a favourite sister?
No, that's the whole issue, and that is the whole thing, you know, I don't.
And do you have other boyfriends, or is this the only man?
No, I don't.
And you're quite happy with the the rota system that's been drawn up?
It's not that I'm happy, you know. It's not like,
So why did you settle for it?
I don't know.
What is the rota system? How does it work?
Oh, it's just basically a Monday to Friday.
So who's
With one sister,
Yeah.
and then Monday to Friday with the other.
Yeah, then
And
weekends.
what about the weekend?
Do your own thing weekends. I play football and
Do you?
everything else. Yeah.
You guys haven't got a third sister, have you?
yeah.
You have got a third sister. Yeah. Have you checked? Did you
Not
see
guilty.
her on a Saturday and a Sunday?
So it's like a job then if you have like Monday to Friday and you have weekends off.
Well, everyone needs a break, don't they? No, but not in that sense. You know, I'm just saying.
What you say?
Look,
James, whose day is it today?
whose day?
Whose day is it
Sam.
Mine.
So do you get a day in lieu somewhere else down the line?
What do you mean?
Well, it's because obviously you are now sharing today. Will you get a Saturday?
No, it doesn't. No,
No, it's not like that. It's not like a rota set.
It's just quite weird because we never. I know what you're saying, but we never are together. So.
But so this has been going on for 10 months. This agreement hasn't.
No, the last 10 weeks.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
only the 10 weeks
Yeah.
together. So, but at what point are you going to call an end to it? In all seriousness, now, when are you going to decide that enough's enough? We're going to move on because you do say that you're in love. At what point will you have to think this is silly now?
You never know what's
I
going
don't
on.
know. Don't really think about that.
Well, you're not going to think about
No,
it. You're the luckiest bloke in the world. You've got two girlfriends, both perfectly happy to put up with what you're doing. I mean, we're going to ask the girls, really, I suppose, what would be the end to this relationship? You say you. I sense that, Sam, you're less happy with the way this works out. Your body
Yeah,
language, you couldn't
obviously,
get
I'm
further
not
into the
over
corner of that
the moon,
sofa.
but
And you are maybe you're sort of putting up with it, but what would be the end of it if one of you got pregnant, or if you suddenly decided, right, do you know what, I'd like to marry this guy? Well, you can't both marry him, so what's going to happen?
I've not really thought
Really
that
don't.
into it, just taking every day as it comes, really.
Well,
Case at all.
if we ever found out that there was somebody, I'm sure we'd both end it then.
What
If
does
there was a third person,
Oh yeah.
yeah, then that would be too much to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
What does your mum
Into
say
me.
about all of this?
She would. Well, I think they were like disgusted at first, but they have to deal with it
Still
as
are,
well.
but-
Yeah, but they have to deal
But I've got
with
the
it.
all with the marriage thing. You can't marry two women. You know what you're going to do, what you're playing at. It's not normal.
And what about the families? How are you treated when you go around to the girl's house?
All right, on face value, what she says when I go, I don't know.
Is it a bit of a joke for you though as well? Is it a bit of a laugh? It's not really serious.
No, it's because there is feelings in it, because otherwise I won't be in this situation. I'll say I'll be sat on here.
Is it and it's a sexual relationship as well
Yeah.
with both of you.
Yeah.
So are you? What happens if you both ended up being pregnant? Are you both being careful about that?
Protection. We're being careful about that one.
Well, it's an astonishing story, and thank you very much indeed for coming in. I can understand why you've got such a big beaming smile on you.
That's nerves, that.
The ladies, there'll be a lot of people wondering what on earth you're playing at, but if
Yeah.
it works for
I
you,
thought the same thing. I was saying this the other day. Somebody asked me if I was watching this 6 months ago, I'd have been like, do you know what they're playing at, what they're doing? But now I'm in the situation myself.
Yeah, you
and I
can't
look
say
at
it
it
totally
totally
in the
different.
same situation.
I'd have been gobsmacked looking at this story with someone else.
And
Really gobsmacked.
we asked this question at the beginning, but I'm going to finish with this question to you. What is it that he has got that makes this acceptable?
I don't know. It's the personality.
You've got a big
For a watershed,
personality.
aren't they?
There we are. There we go. That's hit the nail on the head. Thank you very much indeed,
Thank
all of
you
you.
very,
Thanks.
very much.
We're right back after the break with Denise. Don't go away.